Hello, everybody. How are you doing today? This is episode 76. My name is Tony Rizzano, and this is the Affiliate Party Podcast. We are coming to you early in the morning. Today is Tuesday, September the 29th, 2020. Today is a very special day. Today is my anniversary. Now, before we get started, I want to say hello to my wife. Now, before I wanted to surprise my wife and tell her about I wanted to start doing my podcast because a lot of times in our relationship I had a bad habit of saying I was going to start something and then it never would happen. So for me, I wanted to start doing these episodes to show her, hey, look at me doing this here podcast, So today will be the first time that I send my wife the podcast. So everybody, let's make this great. No, but yes, this is the first time that she will be listening to the actual podcast. Eventually, I want to, hopefully, we will be able to bring her on as a guest one of these days. I was hoping it would be today, but I fucked that up, so that won't be happening. But I just want to tell her I love her. I appreciate you greatly. I'm very sorry. And it's been the best 3 years of my life. And hopefully we can continue this happiness until the rest of my natural born days. And Key, I don't tell you this often, but I greatly appreciate you and I cherish you, and I'm very sorry about everything, and I will do everything every day for the rest of my life to show you how much I appreciate you. Alright? So Kia, stick around, listen. Everybody else, I know you will stick around and listen. We're going to get into the subject at hand after you listen to this commercial. All right, everybody, welcome back. Now, before we get started, I just got a question to ask you. Have you bought the notebook? I know we talked about this last week, but have you bought the notebook? Have you bought the pens? Or are you writing down your daily goals? Come on, we got to hold each other accountable. Or you write it down, the daily goals. I've been writing them down. I knocked mine out today in about 20 minutes. I wrote down 13. And as I said last week, one thing, you want to write it down, and you want to say I, and then you want to write it in the present, and then you want to put what the thing is that you want to do. Like every day one thing I write down every day is I weigh 185 pounds. I weigh 185 pounds. So, and then I put by December 31st, I want to weigh 185 pounds. Now, will it happen? We got 2 holidays coming up. My wife is an excellent chef, so I love to eat her cooking. So it will happen, of course, but you have to put a time. That's another thing that my wife told me, that I should never put a time on anything. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I have to put a time on this stuff. You have to put a time on this stuff. You can't be nonchalant about everything. One of my problems when I was a younger man was being very nonchalant about everything. You can't be. Sometimes you have to Sometimes you have to be accountable. Put a little pressure on yourself to get things done. And now here we are, 2020, being accountable and putting a lot of pressure on myself to get some of this stuff done. But make sure you have the notebook. Make sure you're writing it down. If you don't want to use a notebook, I don't know, use your phone. I don't know. But just make sure you write them down, because, the more you write this stuff down, the more you see it, the more you visualize it, the more you think about it, the more, the more captured you become with it. Because now, every morning I write the goals down, and every night I look at the goals, and I think about them. And while I'm working and everything like that, I think about my goals and think about what I want to do, and, it's really starting to come along quite nicely. And now we are going to talk about the last 3 months. But first is a quote from Agatha Christie. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Now, I say that because we have 3 months left in the year. October, November, December. Of course, you know that. I know that. Now, the one thing that, now, in my personal opinion, the one thing I will tell you don't waste your time on is New Year's Eve go, New Year's goals, you know. Does that stuff really work? I mean, you know, gym memberships, they get like 70 to 80% of their business the first month. People sign up for memberships the first month, and then they go for a week, and then nothing happens after that. You know, they just sort of quit. So my thing is, we have 3 months left in the year. If we get a full steam ahead now, then we won't have to worry about any more New Year's resolutions. We won't have to worry about any of that. You get started now. You figure out, well, just get started on, well, if you listen to this podcast, this is the Affiliate Marketing Podcast. You get started in affiliate marketing. Find a program that you're interested in. And one of these days, I'm about to just name off some programs that I've seen that look pretty good that you might not know about, that you might want to use to be an affiliate for. And you get into it. You learn and apply what you learn and apply. Learn and apply. You don't have to sit there. Don't make the mistake of learning, and then never applying it, because you'll be a man with a lot of knowledge and is not using it is a fool, basically. I heard that from Jim Rohn, and I believe that, because one day I said, I know a lot of this stuff, but I'm not applying it like I should be. I'm a fool. I'm a fool. So please don't think you have to learn a whole bunch. Don't think you have to get a 4-year degree in a month and learn all this online stuff. No. As I say before, all the time, creating content. You have your own stories. You have stories from yesteryear. You have stories from today. You'll always have a story. There's a story every day. Every day there's a story. Every day there's a reason why you want to do something you want to do. There's a reason why you want to leave something that you want to leave. Every day is, new stories develop. So you take those stories and you apply them to what you learn. And then the more you learn, of course, the more your knowledge you get, and the more you apply this stuff, the more money will start rolling in. It all works, in that sort of way. But we have to be accountable for our actions. You want to make sure that you want to make sure that you are giving the maximum effort. You want to make sure you are accountable and present every day to give the maximum effort that you can give when it comes to your marketing business, your online business. Every day. Make sure, because I know some days we all want to sit there and just sort of watch TV and slack off. Don't get me wrong, I would love to, but even if one day you don't feel good and you just write down 10 ideas in one day, that's something. That's better than nothing. Just don't go every day without doing anything. Write some ideas down, write an outline down, be accountable, do something. Just make sure you're doing something, because something can always lead to something. Something can always lead to something. You understand what I'm saying. Just make sure every day you're here doing something. Whether you write a 1,000-word article, or you write an outline, or you write a note, or you shoot a video, or you get an idea for a video, just make sure, because we have to turn on the entrepreneur mindset. And when you're an entrepreneur, every day is work. You might be away from work. I'm not saying that. I mean, of course, you go on vacation. You're resting up so you can come back with fresh ideas. But when you're an entrepreneur, you can't just, especially when you go full time, you can't just sit around and wait on somebody to give you a paycheck. You have to make sure you are working on stuff all the time, so that way You can take the vacations. You can relax. Just like we talked about yesterday with the email automation. Say if you want to go on a trip for 2 weeks, upload the emails to 2 weeks. You go on vacation. The emails are coming in. You have videos already. People finding you already. When I check my statistics for this podcast once a week, one morning I remember I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning and I had 100 more downloads than what I had the last time I checked. What was that? No. My phone kept pinging. And then I looked the night before, and then my phone kept pinging. And then I looked, and then in one morning, for some reason, it was like 100 extra downloads. I don't know what that was about. I don't ask a lot of questions, but I just thought, okay, that's cool. And this is stuff that I've done in the last 2 months, 3 months. People more and more every day are finding the podcast. So this is what I talk about when I say automation and content creation. You create the content, people are going to find you eventually. People will find you. You know, I mean, don't think the bear in the woods thing. Don't think that people are not going to. People will discover you, because people will get to know you. People will get to like you. People will get to trust you, and people will say, "I want to hear more of his story. I want to hear what they have to say. I want to hear how they can help me out." So, just be accountable. Just show up every day, make things happen, and you know, the thing that you started off doing might not end up what you actually do. Because I listened to this podcast yesterday, How I Built This. They started off wanting to do hair loss. They wound up doing kimchi. It's a product called Health Aid. It's like some kind of fermented drink. They wound up doing that, and they became a success in doing that. They wanted to start doing hair loss. So, but they knew they wanted to do something. So you never quite know. And a lot of stories that I've heard, read about, that's how it starts. It's like somebody wanted to get started doing this, but then they pivoted it and they started doing that. It's not, don't get me wrong, of course, the more success you have, the more passionate you will be about something. Don't let people say you got to go do your passion. I mean, when I was a kid, baseball was my passion. I mean, I knew I wasn't going to be in the major leagues. I still like baseball, don't get me wrong, but I'm not beating my head against the wall because I didn't become a Major League Baseball player. I mean, passion is one thing, but once you start making money from something, you'll get a passion for it. I mean, you don't have to have everything that you do, you're not going to love, but it's just like, eventually, if you don't want to do affiliate marketing forever, but you become successful in it. This is my goal. If you become successful in affiliate marketing, you start making pretty good money, you just go venture off and do something else. I mean, that's it, you know? It doesn't have to be, you don't have to start off like, oh, I'm passionate about fish or whatever, you know? Don't let people take you down the wrong path when it comes to passion, you know? You never know what you'll be passionate about, you know? You just have to, as I said in the quote, you know, you have to start off, take a step. Take 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, and then see where it takes you. Because we always say on this podcast, the journey's never over. The journey's every day. It's daily. All right? All right, everybody. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed episode 76. Tomorrow we will be back. We have the rest of the week all lined up. We'll come back a couple days. It's going to be 20, 25-minute podcast. So, as I always tell you, I think I forgot to say this Sunday, tell a friend to tell a friend. My name is Tony Rizzano for the Affiliate Party Podcast. And we will talk to you tomorrow. And as always, everybody, peace.